All right, good evening, everyone. Good evening, everyone. Thank you for attending. My name is Nathan Glennie, and I would like to welcome you to our 24th Boulder Award dinner celebrating Mark Rocheleau. Welcome to Oak Hill Country Club, a beautiful venue here in Fitchburg, and also a community partner of FATV, who has hosted us for a decade now. So I would like to really thank the staff and team here at Oak Hill for putting on such a nice evening for us. I would also like to recognize our distinguished guest and audience tonight. We have, of course, Fitchburg Mayor Stephen L. DiNatale. We have Jake Simopoulos from, that would be Senator Cronin's office. Thank you, Jake. And beside him, we have Rebecca Hess from Representative Kushmerik's office. And from Fitchburg State University, we have Dr. Richard Lapidus. Where is he? Not here. Oh, he's not here. We have Jay Bry sitting in his place. Thank you, Jay. AJ, you were supposed to update me on that. That was, come on. In addition, we also have 3 Fitchburg City Councilors in attendance. We have Amy Green. We have Sally Cragen, and we have Samantha Squalia. I would also be remiss if I didn't thank each and every one of you for attending this evening. You are the reason why we do this, why we strive for excellence in keeping our community connected and informed. Fitchburg is growing each and every day. And whether it's, a program produced in our facilities in FATV or one of the many sporting events we cover, it could be, the latest in local politics or one of the 7 graduations that we will be covering in the next coming weeks, a busy time for us. The bottom line is Fitchburg Access Television is here to serve our community. We are proud to do it, and it's our home, and we really, really appreciate you all being here. Thank you. Before I introduce the very wonderful and talented staff that I have at FATV, I would like to begin by sharing this brief video montage of some of the programming you can see on our channels.
You're going to use a fork? I was just going to pick it up and eat it.
Well, some of us are more classy than others, Alex.
Oh, well,
A lot of hope to see that, the next generation, before they even leave high school, that they're so invested in the community.
And a special thank you to FATV, who made this broadcast possible.
Very short, but it hits the point. We do a lot for our community, and we hope you stay with us as we celebrate 35 years this December. Now, Fitchburg Access Television would not be the success it is today without this dedicated staff here. I am truly humbled and honored to serve each and every day alongside these individuals who surely make my life easier, and I'd now like to introduce them to you. First off is our operations technician, Travis Falk. Travis is a self-taught savant, as I like to put it, and is in his 12th year of employment with us at FATV. As some of you may know, Travis, we call him a magician around the station. For instance, I might encounter a technical issue with a piece of device. Well, the moment this guy comes over, that problem just disappears. It could be operator error, but more than likely, I think it's the magic skills that he has that he doesn't share with us. But all kidding aside, Travis, he's responsible for maintaining and installing all of our equipment within our facilities. He's a part of every remote production, both externally and internally with our studio productions. Make no mistake, without Travis, FATV would not be where we are today and functioning and operating on our channels, streaming, you name it. We wouldn't be here if it wasn't for Travis Falk. Next up, our operations manager, Ann Bisbee. Ann is the type of employee any business would love to have. Her glowing personality, friendly greetings, and organizational skills are second to none. We would really be out of place and not functioning as good as we are without her by our side. Let's face it, she's behind all of this organization here tonight for this wonderful dinner. And indeed. I'd probably pick placemats and table arrangements, and it would all clash. The colors would be off. Barely I could get dressed myself this evening. But the point of the matter is, without Ann, FATV would be missing a great contributor. On top of managing all of FATV's programming on the 3 channels, she also manages our social media outreach. She also engages with our members. She does syndication with our programming. She also answers the call, the phone. If you give her a call, she's probably the one you hear. So let's all give her a call tomorrow morning just to say hi. Ann Bisbee. Next up is Jared Roberts, our education manager. Jared is our in-house creative expert. They will be approaching 6 years this June. 6 years, did you know that? Oh, it's been so much fun for you, right? Yeah. I should also mention this Saturday, he will be in Boston, and he will be walking a theater stage to receive his master's degree from Emerson College. You will see Jared's work just about everywhere on FATV, whether it be some editing work, some graphical design work, or directing the always informative Discussing Fitchburg Now. You see his work everywhere. From teaching our Access members to going out to all of our schools and enabling the students for their creative visions. Jared is a well-rounded individual who adds a lot to our team. Jared Roberts. Next up, Daniel Bolak. Our government production specialist. Just this past week, Dan actually hit the 1-year milestone with us. He started as a volunteer on remote sports productions, and he also gained a lot of experience with our friends over at the Falcon Sports Network. Right now, Dan has helped us jump from covering 6 meetings a month to now 17 meetings a month at our legislative building. Mr. DiNatale, could you imagine sitting through 17 meetings a month? You also might have recognized his voice on the video that we showed for you. He is the voice of FATV Sports, and we do cover a lot of those as well. Dan Bolak. We also have Alyssa Fields, part-time production assistant. As you can see, Alyssa is standing behind the camera. She joined us this past January and comes from us from Fitchburg State as a sophomore there. And she will be surely to stick around with us because she has so much fun as she continues her education at Fitchburg State. Alyssa. And to my right, we have Caitlin Mobilia. So as she's traversing the venue, getting some candid photos of us all, she also is a sophomore at Fitchburg State, and she has actually some experience with Milford TV, right? Milford TV. So we hope as she continues her education at Fitchburg State, she'll stick with us here at FATV and continue her professional experience with us. Caitlin. And that concludes our team at FATV. I'd like to give everyone a round of applause for doing what you do each and every day. All right, so we had to change it up a little bit tonight. I'd now like to recognize our board of directors of Fitchburg Access Television. This group of 11 individuals dedicate their time and their insight and their leadership to our organization. Their involvement helps to keep FATV one of the best regional leaders of community television. Please welcome to the podium our Vice President, Matt Borgall. Well, Matt here is actually the Executive Director over at Ashburnham Westminster Community Media, a place that he has called home for 22? Oh, that's
Prior to, but 15 for AWC.
there you go. He also successfully did a rebranding relaunch last year to become Ashburnham Westminster Community Media. But I'd like to have him introduce the rest of the board to you. Matt?
Thank you, Nathan, for that introduction. Good evening, everyone. I would like to continue the introductions of the rest of the board of directors to you. So I would ask that when I call your name, if you could please rise, we'll move on with that. So our president, Travis Condon, is currently the public affairs manager for the North Central Massachusetts Chamber of Commerce. Travis brings a wealth of community knowledge and resources to the FATV board of directors. Having a background in radio and television brings value to the FATV as our organization looks to maintain a stronghold in the community media industry. Unfortunately, Travis is unable to attend this evening, but shares his excitement for tonight's event. Our secretary, John Dextrace, is one of our longest-serving board members with 20 years of service. Due to work obligations, John is unable to be here tonight, but I would like to share with you, he did participate by volunteering with FATV in the recent Fitchburg Ward cleanups this past Saturday. So he made up. Our treasurer, Glenn Kinney, is serving his third year with us on the board. Glenn has recently retired from his distinguished 33-year career in media service department with Harvard University. He now enjoys his second career, because one wasn't enough, with Kinney DJ Services, as well as being a local real estate investor. Glenn Kinney. Board member Pat Calhoun was recently elected to our board of directors this past February. He is currently employed with Game Creek Video as a senior engineer for one of the fleet's 53 mobile production trucks based in the Boston Intelligent Market. Pat unfortunately could not be with us this evening because he's filming Game 3, or helping to film Game 3 of the Boston Bruins playoff run. So, Pat Calhoun. That must be nice, right? You might know board member Alex Cardinale from being a previous host on Inside Fitchburg, or more recently on Forks Over Fitchburg, roasting her co-host, Dave Genesi. Right, Alex? Where are you? Yeah. There you are. Alice brings her Falcon education and her Fitchburg roots to our board as FATV continues to grow and prosper for the future of our organization. Alice Cardinale. Board member Arthur Collins is currently the Director of Media Services and Chief Engineer of Broadcasting and Electronic Media at Mount Wachusett Community College. Art brings a vast insight of technology trends and practical solutions which have helped FATV's technological growth for the past 20 years. Unfortunately, Art, who's probably working the Celtics game tonight, is unable to attend this evening's event, so we recognize Art. Thank you. Board member Megan Donahue has been the Executive Director of the Fitchburg Redevelopment Authority since 2018. In her role, she brings a positive change to Fitchburg's downtown area through working with community partners in collaboration with stakeholders. This dedication to Fitchburg's success is exactly why she's an excellent contributor to the FATV board. Oh, Megan's here. Megan, there she is. I'm used to seeing you on Zoom. It's so different. Board member Tracy LaFleur brings her 22 years of banking experience to FATV's board of directors. Tracy joined the FATV board in 2021 to continue her support with local nonprofit organizations. Her civic involvement in the city was recognized by the Rotary Club of Fitchburg in 2019, where she received the Paul Harris Award given to a Rotarian or a member of the community that has made an outstanding contribution to the community. Tracy LaFleur. Last, and certainly by no means no least, is board member George Mariginin. Did I say that right, George? I've been practicing all day. Where are you, George? Mariginin. Thank you, Mayor. A longtime member of FATV and a producer of the renowned program Chess Chat. George brings an extensive wealth of community knowledge and history to our board. Notably, George has been the program director of the Wachusett Chess Club at Fitchburg State University for over 55 years, the second longest running chess club within Massachusetts. George Mariginin. As you can see, this diverse group of individuals brings great knowledge and experience, both personally and professionally, that contributes to the excellence, growth, and future to our board. Notably, the board offers our congratulations to Mark Rocheleau and all award recipients this evening. We would also like to thank all of you in attendance for your sharing of this event this evening. Thank you. Program changed because Nate's not supposed to know this. Lastly, I would like to take a moment to thank our Executive Director, Nathan Glenning, for his leadership throughout the past couple years. The pandemic proved to be a very challenging time for all of us. But I must say that we are extremely proud to see Nathan persevere through those challenges, all while maintaining and continuing to build up FATV to where it is today. So on behalf of my fellow board members, I would like to offer our thanks to Nathan for his hard work. We all look forward to what the future will bring. I would like to turn things back over to Nathan now. Thank you and enjoy the rest of your evening.
Yeah, thank you. I was not expecting that, Matt. Thank you very much. And obviously, thank you to all of our board members who serve day in and day out with us, deal with my phone calls, and I can't thank them all enough. Now, just like myself, I'm starving. So we're going to take a short break right now. We're going to start with our dinner, and then we'll begin the program. We'll continue it on in a little bit. Let's see. I think we're going to start with our honoree, Mark Rocheleau's table, and then just we'll follow in line accordingly. All right? Thank you. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to start the awards part of our celebration tonight. finally. Yeah. Are you all set too? You ready? Yeah? Okay. All right. So you met many people tonight that have been a part of FATV's staff and our board, all who I've said many times I really appreciate. But there are many more exciting times ahead for FATV as we celebrate our 35th anniversary this December. It's an exciting time. Recently, we actually debuted a podcast suite in our facility. And actually, Ann and Jared have a weekly podcast series. It's called Up Next on FATV. So if you haven't heard it, tune on in. Also, you can get that on our app if you haven't downloaded it today. But what I'd like to now do is invite up a couple of people here. We have board member Alex Cardinale and this guy David Genesi's co-host or something. But they have some exciting news to share with you this evening. So, Alex, Dave?
Okay.
Before we get to Alex and Dave, I made a boo-boo. Alex paid me money to do this, so in case anybody was wondering.
You weren't supposed to say
We were supposed to introduce Dave as a board member. Dave Genesi, people, is the Chief Marketing Officer of the Aging Services of North Central Massachusetts. As a proud resident of Fitchburg, he brings creativity, vision, and passion to the board, contributing to the mission of FATV. You may also recognize him as Dave, the co-host and producer. Co-host? So is it host, co-host?
you're fine.
Perfect.
I'm kidding.
I totally get it. Of the widely popular show, Forks Over Fitchburg, airing on FATV. Dave Genesi, folks.
Matt is very lucky because I was going to zing him so bad when I got up here. So I have the privilege. Alex, what are we doing up here?
You tell me. I was supposed to stand up, so I did.
The Angelina Jolie of the duo here, Alex Cardinale. Thank you. So we're actually here. This show is a very special show, not because we're a little biased, but you know, this idea started over some homemade limoncello one Christmas Eve morning. And we looked at each other and we said, you know, Alex, I
This
think...
makes it sound like we're together. Like, I'm married, like, you know, you always talk about us like we're together. So.
we were over at your
You gotta-
father's
you gotta
house.
rein that
Let
in.
me clarify.
Clarify.
So we were over your father's house, and we looked at each other and we said, you know, I think we could put on one hell of a show. And so we figured, let's focus it around food, and that's what we did. And over a year's time, our show has grown exponentially. We've certainly gained a following and some traction, which we're very proud of. And in doing so, you know, one of the things that Alex and I said when we started the show was, we want to treat it like a regular network television show. We don't want to be complacent, you know? And so we don't. We certainly make it fun and entertaining. And I'm very excited to announce that Forks Over Fitchburg, right here in the city of Fitchburg, has been recognized for being an award winner of the 2022 Hometown Media Awards for Best Promo, with over 1,000 submissions across the United States, and they chose Forks Over Fitchburg. And so, in doing so, FATV will be proudly represented in Chicago in June to accept this award. And I want to just say that this isn't because of the work that myself, Nate, and kind of Alex do. It's really the stories that these men and women, you know, tell on our show. And it's really a reflection of our culinary arts scene in Fitchburg. And now you can say that the city of Fitchburg's culinary arts scene is nationally recognized. So, thank you. Anything else you want to say, Alex, or did I cover it all?
No, you're welcome. Yeah.
So, Nate, are we transitioning into the next part? Or Yes, okay.
didn't know if you were done yet or not.
No, we're-
You all get a taste of what I have to deal with. Welcome to my experience.
So, Alex and I are also, we also have the privilege of recognizing and bringing up to the podium the 2022 Producer of the Year. And so we practiced a little bit to do this, and I can guarantee you Alex has forgotten it 7 times over.
No, I didn't. That's fine.
So we're gonna try it. Are you ready?
Sure.
Okay. We're here at Oak Hill Country Club in Fitchburg.
Well, we're gonna be talking to Susan Navarre, right? Nope.
Nope.
Well, I don't know. See, I already told you.
Are you talking to the FAT?
You don't even remember. You want me to remember? Listen to that.
She's Alex Cardinale,
Oh, he's David Jameson.
and this is the 2022 Producer of the Year. Alex, here's a fact for you. Did you know that Babe Ruth laid eyes on Crocker Field and thought it was for a professional baseball team?
Why no? I didn't know that.
Well, I can tell you,
Geronimo knows.
Susan Navarre knows that.
I'm not surprised.
Did you know that the ambassador who received the declaration of war from the emperor in World War II was Edward Savage Crocker from Fitchburg?
I'm remiss.
Susan Navarre knows that.
I'm sure she does.
Did you know that Sergei Rachmaninoff played a concert here in the upper floor of City Hall in 1927?
Maybe I should have done that one. No, I didn't know that.
Well, here's some news for you. Susan Navarre knew that.
No.
Susan Navarre, the executive director of the Fitchburg Historical Society, gatekeeper of all Fitchburg history. Susan Navarre has the privilege of producing I Remember When. Notice how I remembered that. I Remember When on FATV, and she works very diligently at it, and it's one of the top-rated shows on FATV, actually. Fun fact.
Deservedly so.
So, anything else we want to add, or should we just welcome Susan?
I say we bring her on up.
Great, you've been a great contributor here. Susan Navarre.
Okay, wait, how am I going to follow that? Okay. Well, when I first fell in love with the movies in the 1970s, I never dreamed that I was actually going to be able to make any kind of movie. I figured when you're doing local history, you don't really have access to sophisticated cameras and sophisticated editing setups. For me, PBS-style production of documentaries seemed very, very far away. But the wonderful resources here at Fitchburg Access have made it possible for me to find a new way to reach out. And being at the Historical Society, of course, means that I have a big story to tell. I tell a lot of people that Rachmaninoff story, I tell people a lot of those stories. And you probably already know that Fitchburg is really considered a leader all around the Commonwealth and even around the nation. People know about Fitchburg. And in fact, for me, the more I learn about the innovations here and the inventions here, the more I find the truth in the saying that I repeat all the time. It's from boxing, and I say, Fitchburg punches above its weight. And for example, I actually knew about the Fitchburg Historical Society long before I came to the city. It's actually very, very well known for the completeness of its collections, especially its collections about the Industrial Revolution, about early New England life, and about all the movements that were based here, that workers' rights, abolition, legal innovation, religious innovation, educational innovation, and actually, the Historical Society has been innovating in educational programs for years and years, decades, really for 100 years. It's been innovating in how it introduces children and the community to local history. And actually, if you think about it, in the 20th century, Fitchburg itself, the city of Fitchburg, was featured all over. So, of course, Life magazine, Newsweek magazine, other national media outlets all wrote about Fitchburg for things like the world-class high school that opened here in 1936. That got national coverage. George Wallace's classic car sale that helped endow Burbank Hospital. Also for electing a 23-year-old mayor in 1969, just a couple of years after the voting age changed from 21 to 18. That was covered nationwide. And we had a nice interview recently with Mayor Bill Flynn about his experience, looking back on it now 50 years later. And also, of course, this is the first place in the world where the moon rocks were displayed after they were brought back from the moon by the Apollo astronauts. They were actually displayed in 1970 when the Wallace Civic Center opened, and I've been told by people who were there that there were soldiers guarding them with machine guns. Well, since I arrived at the Historical Society, and I really wanted to share these stories like this with the whole community, and so I've been in touch with Fitchburg Access, and all of you have been extraordinary at helping us reach out about Fitchburg's history and tell the community. So of course I've been on shows like Barbara and You and Inside Fitchburg and Discussing Fitchburg Now, where we had really in-depth discussions about Fitchburg's history. And we also have had many of our lectures taped so that they were broadcast on Fitchburg Access, and other people have made documentaries at the Historical Society that also got shown on Fitchburg Access. So really we see people coming through our door and saying, I saw this on TV and now I want to ask you this question. And that's what we love. And it was tough when COVID meant that we had to lock down and quarantine. We tried to figure out how are we going to reach people now when we don't have our doors open. And actually it was FATV that I approached, and they said, sure, we can help you with doing that. And in fact, I'd like to thank my president, Amy Green, who looked at the innovations we were suggesting, and she said, yeah, let's try it, let's do it, let's get out there. And so really it's the FATV staff and also our volunteers, I'm looking at a lot of hardworking volunteers right to my right, that help us do these kinds of new programs and help us really stretch in how we're doing local history. And I'm proud of all of our I Remember When shows, but I'm especially proud, I think, of the first one that we did that was in Spanish. It's about local history. It's related to the Uruguayan population in Fitchburg and about the first World Soccer Cup in 1950. And our board members, Kay Alverson-Hillman and Charlie Cruz, hosted that show almost entirely in Spanish with Spanish-speaking guests. And it was Kay who did so much of the research for it and found some of those guests for us so that we could do that. And I think that's just so exciting that we're taking this first step to reaching out to the newest members of the Fitchburg citizenry and showing them that, yes, the Historical Society is also their history. Because I'll say that really, I Remember When isn't just Fitchburg's story, it's your story. And I want to thank you, FATV, for helping us to get the word out, and especially for your encouragement here tonight. Thank you.
Good evening, everybody. My name's Daniel Volak. You may remember me from such other broadcasting locations as WPKZ and the Falcon Sports Network. And if you're familiar with the government meetings, I'm the man behind the curtain. So thank you all for attending tonight. I know it's been a long time since we've been able to get together. And as we know, we have so much content on FATV that we can all be proud of. What sticks out to me the most, personal bias, is our sports broadcasting. We've expanded our sports coverage over the last few years and now bringing more games than ever to our community. And this couldn't be possible without the efforts of our members and our volunteers. And we've gotten tremendous contributions behind the scenes over the years. We've been blessed with strong talent to back it up. So many great announcers on our broadcast. Some that come to my mind: Dave Spence, Luke Connery, Scott May, Mike Flynn, Dave Clark, John Gugerty, me. Now, I mentioned myself because the last four names on that list are the last 4 winners of our On-Air Personality Award of the Year. And so as it turns out, sports is on quite the winning streak right now. And guess what? It's going to continue this year because we are going to be awarding another sports broadcaster the award for On-Air Personality of the Year, and that's our current voice of the Falcons, Tim Foley. I first met Tim back in September of 2018, and at that time, my old stomping grounds at the Falcons Sports Network was in a period of transition. Justin Kearns, who was the last voice of the Falcons, the guy in between us, Tom Sorrentino and the rest of the talent who succeeded me there, they just graduated from the university. And so for Tim, coming in as a freshman from Natick, the job was his to run with, and he fit right in immediately. For the last 4 years, he's been bringing a high grade of professionalism and preparation to the broadcasts. I do from tuning in to a couple early season broadcasts, hearing him call the end of a soccer game as we're getting ready to set up for a football game, and hearing his enthusiasm and dedication, talking with him afterwards, that the Falcon Sports Network was going to be in good hands. Tim made his FATV debut on February 13th, 2019. We were covering a midweek basketball doubleheader. The plan was for me to call the games, both of them, by myself. I was talking with Jamie Rogers, the Assistant Sports Information Director at the university, and I told him, if Tim wants to come on, we'd be more than happy to have him. And it couldn't have been more than an hour's notice, but he was there, ready and willing to contribute, and he helped make that a great night of basketball. When we needed a voice the following week to call a playoff basketball game that I couldn't be there for, Tim was there, ready to take charge. And when I needed a broadcast partner on the radio, less than 24 hours notice for a playoff basketball triple header, I asked him if he could help me. And he was there at 9 in the morning, ready for a long day of hoops. Such a reliable broadcaster, Tim Foley is always willing to contribute and build on his craft. And now, we can all appreciate and enjoy the contributions that Tim has made on the air, but we don't get to see the work ethic and preparation required to create a successful broadcast. I've worked with around 40 different announcers in my dozen years calling games, and I don't think I've ever met someone who's put as much time and research into crafting notes and game day material as Tim. For example, when I make my stat sheets for a Fitchburg State ice hockey game, I come to the Civic Center with 2 pages of notes. Tim comes with somewhere around 50. It may sound like a lot, but if you've ever needed to know who's got the longest point streak on the team, or the highest number of shots the Falcons have taken in a period this season, or the most assists in a game in the Mascac era, or how many goals Brian Glover scored playing junior hockey, Tim has that information at the turn of a page. And one more thing I want to leave you with, a quality Tim and I share, a constant desire to improve and build on our experiences and grow as announcers. Have you ever had that feeling where you're going off the air, people say, did such a good job, and you're thinking about all the mistakes you made throughout the broadcast, the time you slipped up that person's name, the time you stumbled 6 times trying to describe what's going on in the corner? I've had those feelings. It's like, you may not notice the mistakes, but I do. And I know the very, very rare instances where Tim has made mistakes, I can tell he's not too happy about it. Whether he's shaking his fist, punching the air at the invisible force that tripped him up. It's like, you don't get to see that too often, but I know that's a sign of how much he truly cares about bringing a great broadcast to the table. Now, the great Vern Lundquist once said he never called a mistake-free game in his long and storied career. And I believe he said something along the lines of, you're never going to call a perfect game. It can't be done. It's not going to stop me from trying, and it's not going to stop Tim from trying either. And the fact that he's always gunning for that perfect game, the fact that he's so driven to call a game at such a high standard, is one of the many qualities that impresses me so much. And it's those qualities that make Tim Foley our recipient for On-Air Personality of the Year.
Yeah, no kidding, right? I'm not supposed to have nerves. It's kind of funny, I was thinking this earlier. I get more nerves standing in a room in front of people than I do on air blindly to hundreds of people, the community, the city of Fitchburg and beyond, getting ready to watch a hockey game. So if you could all just disappear very quickly, that would do me a lot of good. There's a camera, maybe I'll just stare at that the whole time. No, but it's such an honor to be here tonight at the FATV banquet here, receiving this award. I think it's fitting enough that I am able to close out my collegiate career at Fitchburg State University, having worked in public access, because that's actually where I got my start. I started broadcasting about 8 years ago with Natick Pegasus, the public access station over in Natick, Massachusetts. And, well, I got my start there because I wasn't good at hockey. I was very bad. It was a game in which there was not enough room on the bench for me to even dress and be the backup goalie that day. And so our bus driver, he said, well, I know you're not doing anything. I have a camera here, I have a microphone, would you like to call the game? And so I did it. It was my freshman year of high school, and I kind of got bit by the bug. And it was something that I think to start off, it was just something fun to keep me out of trouble. I called that very first game, and then I kept calling the rest of the varsity games that year for hockey. And then year-round, I called all the spring sports, volunteered with Natick Pegasus over the summer, got back involved in the fall, and just kind of kept in that cycle all the way through high school. And it was something I enjoyed very much. Kept me out of trouble. It was always nice to get the recognition from fellow students who would listen to broadcasts after the fact, who would be playing in the games and give me compliments. It was the coolest I think I had ever thought I could feel at school. I never thought I could be the cool kid, but you get all the football quarterback, he's giving me a high five, and it's just like, oh, I didn't think that was possible. So that was always a great time, and I was fortunate enough to be able to do it for 4 years with one of my best friends back in Natick. So it was a lot of fun. And then came time. I think I was a senior in high school, just starting out, and I knew that I had no more fun doing anything else than broadcasting, and I knew I wasn't good at anything else. And so I wanted to find some way to continue broadcasting once I got into college. And my boss at Natick Pegasus, he was actually a Fitchburg State alumni. And he had told me of the great communications media program that the university offered. And I knew that, well, that sounds right up my alley. It's local, it's a fantastic price, and the quality of education you receive there is one of the top in the state, if not, the country. It's just so great. The value there I could not have made a better decision, I think, in regards to my decision to go to school. Because also I knew that, regardless of the infrastructure of I didn't know if they already had people calling games there or not. I didn't know if there was going to be any way for me to slot in a camera already there on campus, if I was going to have to buy something, stream my own games, whatnot. I was ready to go to Fitchburg State and just try to make it happen no matter what. And then once I finally arrived on campus, it was the fall of 2018, I did find that there was actually some infrastructure there already to start broadcasting. There was the Falcon Sports Network, the aforementioned, as well as FATV. Now, the Falcon Sports Network, while I love it dearly, it's not FATV, in that oftentimes you'd get students running the camera, helping to run production, and there were some excellent dedicated members along the way, but I can't tell you how many times the plug might have been pulled because, oh, well, the dining hall's closing, or, there's a party that night, or I got an essay I need to finish. And so on more than one occasion, I was cut off pretty often, perhaps for the better. But then I started working with FATV, and I saw the professionalism that this public access station had. In high school, it was something that was, like I said, it was just so much for fun. But when I came up to FATV and I started working with them more closely, Daniel said that I brought a lot of professionalism to the table. But I saw what FATV was able to offer, and it helped me to feel as though I needed to elevate my game more, because the quality, the dedication that everybody with the station always puts forward to be able to put forward a good broadcast. I mean, I cannot tell you how many times I've spoken with student athletes at Fitchburg State where they've told me, Tim, why don't you come on the road? Why don't you call our games? Because our parents hate it when there's nobody on the air. It's a dead silent broadcast. They're lucky if there's a camera. They're lucky if there's someone pointing the camera, so you can't even see the goals half the time. But FATV here, you learn so much about how important it is to have these games in Fitchburg broadcasted to everybody who can't attend. There's so many reasons why people can't make it on a daily basis, on a game-by-game basis. And so it's always been that service, and even beyond sports. You know, local media as a whole serves such an important role within our communities in that it highlights so much of what goes on. You know, there's so many great programs on FATV that were it not for them, you know, there'd be so many stories in Fitchburg that would be untold, and that's just not right. And so it's the local media that does such a great job of helping to identify those stories. And, you know, I'm lucky enough that I was able to be brought along for the ride. FATV's given me so much. You know, I want to thank Daniel for everything that he's offered to me over the years. You know, as much as he says I show up with the game notes, I need it because I can't remember everything. He is an encyclopedic of probably every last fact you would like to know about Fitchburg State sports. This man will go back, he'll pull up something that I didn't even know existed. You know, a player who played here who has some random relation to a European senator or something or other. And so there's always something in his brain that I never would have possibly guessed, but it's the additions he always made to the broadcast and kind of the pushing you and I did between one another to always improve. That's helped me so much throughout the years. To John Gugerty for always being a supportive voice as well, another on-air talent here at FATV that has always just, you know, been such an usher of kindness and encouragement throughout my years here, particularly this last year working with you for these hockey broadcasts. Nate, for everything you've done for me, thank you for encouraging me to continue working with you, you know, throughout my senior year here, and for everything you've been able to offer me in regards to feeling as though I have something to go out and present and, you know, to try to make it in this industry. And then of course all the FATV volunteers. You know, there's no on-air personality of the year award if we can't get on air. And so to them, you know, the greatest thanks of all for being able to actually put on the show that we're able to put on each and every broadcast. So with that, I'll say thank you so much, and go Falcons.
Oh, these are all hard acts to follow. Can you believe the voices on those two guys? They are amazing, totally amazing. Now, I'm going to break the rules a little bit. Somebody that's very prominent at FATV and literally runs the place, she told me to keep it short. But nobody else is in, so I'm going to talk a little bit. I'm curious. Would everybody in this room who's ever been on the Barbara and You show raise your hand?
I directed it, does that count?
That counts, yes, John, that counts. Thank you, because like everybody who has a program, it takes so many people to put it together, and FATV couldn't be a better place to be. But I'm here to talk about Robin Como. And I brought two tissues, one for her and one for me, because we may be crying before we get through this. Oh, she's starting already. It is such a great honor for me. Oh, the other thing is, I don't usually talk from a script, but I wanted to make sure I don't forget anything about Robin, so I'm going to read some of this. But it's such an honor to be asked to be the person to present this to you. Here we go. We both get very emotional. But Robin has a distinguished situation that no one else will ever have. She is the very first recipient of the Rock Steady Award. This award was created and given a very clever title. I think a few people put their heads together, the Rock Steady Award. But it was written and created just for Robin because of all the appreciation FATV has for her totally unfailing diligence to get the job done. Even throughout the pandemic, when there were so many problems and so many new things to learn. And it's one of the things I especially admire about Robin is she just wants to soak up everything she can learn. And she has learned so much in the years that she's been here. And we're all very, very proud of you. And so during the pandemic, there were a lot of new things to learn. First, we were Zooming, and she had to learn different ways of editing. She had to deal with different equipment she hadn't been used to. And the pandemic just brought on all these more learning challenges that she was kind of loving because she had a chance to learn something new and to broaden her abilities, and she never let anybody down. This woman doesn't know how to say, no, I can't do that. No, I'm busy. I have something else to do. No, no, no. With Robin, the show must go on, very definitely, and she's just learned so many things, and I didn't always recognize them because I am so non-technical. But the other people who know what it takes really said, rah, rah, Robin. Great job. But whether she's doing a studio shoot or whether she's editing different styles, whether she's out there covering some sports with the guys, or what do I have with the Zoom? Yeah, we talked about the Zoom. Like I said, I have to check my notes. But she just is willing to do everything. You need somebody to help with graduation? Yeah, Robin will be there. Whatever she's asked to do, she does. And I only know a little bit of it because I know how hard she works just for my show. And she is, pardon me for if there's some people here who have directed my show a few times, but she is one of, if not my very favorite director of all time. And but as she's getting these challenges and these things thrown at her time and time again, we find that she doesn't see them as challenges. She welcomes it, and she takes those challenges and just turns them into success over and over and over again. I'm totally in awe of her, and she's probably in awe of me because I'm so dumb and non-technical. But Robin always wants to learn new ways, and she just takes a challenge and conquers it. Amen. She never says no. And she actually tells me she enjoys learning things. They scare the heck out of me when I have to learn something new, but not Robin. And personally, she means so much to me. She's like a daughter. And she helps me in many, many ways. Ways that she doesn't even know, because when I see how hard she works and how she wants to learn new things, I think, why can't I be more like her? But I was told to keep it short, and so if I went on telling you how much I love about Robin, we'd be here a long time, folks. But she's not only intelligent and capable, she's also one of the most generous, caring, kind, and helpful people that I've ever known. And we all at FATV are so blessed to have Robin as part of the FATV team. And if you want something done, you know who to go to. Robin. She's amazing. I have to be sure to add that in addition to all the things I've already said about her, she does have a life outside of FATV. And she is very dedicated to her wonderful family and to her latest, can I call it a hobby, girls? But she is dedicated to a lot of people and a lot of things, and we're so proud of you. Robin, please come up. Congratulations.
So much. Oh my gosh. Thank you. I love you, Mommy. This is my mom. You get your stuff? Okay. Yeah. I do not have a speech at all. I was unprepared completely for this, but you guys, that's why I'm here. They give me so much joy and pleasure to spend all this time with you guys. I wish I found TV 50 years ago, 40 years, whatever, I'm not that old, oh my gosh. 20 years ago, I would have done it for a living. I have so much fun, they're the best people to work with, and I want all of you guys, somebody out here, Mr. Mayor maybe, they all deserve awards. That's what I want to see. Nobody recognizes FATV for everything they do. Thank you. Thank you, Flap TV. Nobody mentioned you tonight, my other show. Thank you for coming too. Thank you.
Hello. Hi. I'm sorry, I have a bit of a redemption to make for myself. The Excellence Award from FATV is to highlight the achievements and the work of a past employee of FATV. I was the first recipient of that award, making this very awkward because I work at FATV still, but I didn't. But I do again. Luckily, and we are very lucky, that the recipient of the award tonight also has a bad history of coming back over and over again, as much as he feels like, I guess. And Scott, if I make you cry, not intentional. I'm sorry. Yeah, thank you. When confronted with this opportunity to present an award to Scott, intellectually, it made sense. It's like, I got this award, I know Scott, I work with him on North Central Journal, it all clicks. That makes sense. And then the day kept getting closer and closer and closer and closer and closer. And then I sort of realized that I have known Scott for a fraction of his long career, all of my career. And I now have to present an award to this, as far as I'm concerned, staple of the FATV experience, effectively like a monument to me. No offense. No offense. Yeah. And I could only think of his immortal words when he would say, KISS. Keep it simple, stupid. So all I can say about Scott is that he is the most deserving person I can think of for this award. That's just all I can say about it. It's the Excellence Award in everything that Scott does, both in terms of his work as an executive director, as a host, a diligent host for the North Central Journal. He continues to work in a way that elevates voices for the people that don't necessarily get their shot. So that's it. How'd I do? That's simple enough for you?
Exactly as I wrote it, that was perfect. I've been married almost 45 years to my wife, Mickey. When I mentioned to her that I would be receiving the Excellence Award from FATV, she looked at me and said, excellence for what? Dream big, work hard, stay focused, and surround yourself with good people. And while I very much appreciate this award and the recognition from FATV, I wouldn't have been considered for this award if it hadn't been for the team that I work with to produce North Central Journal. Ann Bisbee is the producer of the show. Jared is the director, editor, and videographer. And Nate Glennie has been very supportive as in his position as executive director, helping us with ideas and occasionally calling people on our behalf to see if they would be guests. So while I'm the host of this show, this award represents very much the entire team. I want to thank both Ann and Jared for their hard work and dedication to North Central Journal, Nate for his continued support. Dream big, work hard, stay focused, and surround yourself with good people. Thank you.
All right, I have the honor of presenting our final member award, the Rocheleau Testamata Award. This is the highest of the member awards, representing outstanding volunteer service, believes in community media, and embodies all-around volunteerism with FATV. This award winner is someone whose contributions were numerous during a very challenging time of our lives. When local sporting venues were closed, FATV provided the sights and sounds of the venues for the friends, family, and fans of these athletes. Todd Govin, a member who began with us through filming his son's JV football game, he wanted to become more involved with us, and That he did. He just about volunteered for any time that mobile production truck rolled. The mobile production truck built by that guy over there. We'll talk about him in a second. He continues to volunteer, and he's great to have on our team. But he's got to, when he does help out, he's got to check, obviously, his work schedule, but he's also got to check with his wife. But we're happy to have him on our team, and you know, I'm sure he'll share about his experiences, about how annoying I can be on a production. But you know, he's actually got a good story to tell you as well. I hope he shares it with you about a famous moment that FATV had during the pandemic. But I'd like to give Todd Govin the Rocheleau Testamata Award. Todd?
I am not an on-air personality, so I don't have a speech prepared, but winning an award to hang out with a bunch of great people and eat some excellent food most of the time. It seems simple, you know? They make it easy. These guys they're amazing, you know? They included me in, they made me part of their family. Robin, everybody, it's been fantastic.
Yeah.
So I enjoy it. It gets me out of work. So, that's pretty much all I really got to say. I'll save my story for later.
I'm going to share it. So this is the guy who was behind the camera who caught that viral moment at the Fitchburg High School graduation when Verda Anand now, donated back her scholarship. But this guy right here, his camera skills were across the globe and
It was a little shaky, just so
no, you did great. But this is the guy who got it all done, and we can't thank him enough. Thank you. Congratulations. All right, next, I just would like to segue to this year, the 17th annual Robert Wilson Scholarship was given to a full-time student at Fitchburg State University. They need to maintain a 3.0 grade average and obviously a part of the Communications Media Film Department. This scholarship is named after a longtime volunteer of FATV and a member of our community. At this time, I'd like to recognize the award recipient this year, who's behind the camera, Miss Alyssa Fields. Congratulations. All right, next, let's keep this program moving along. I'd like to ask Travis to pull up the PowerPoint presentation. I want to go back to 1987. I want to celebrate 35 years with you, so let's take a... No, we're moving along. That was just a poor joke on my part. I don't want you all to suffer like my board does for my executive director's reports. So we'll keep it moving along. Now it's time to move on to the main event of our evening, the recipient of the 24th Boulder Award. One of our biggest supporters is the mayor, Stephen DiNatale. He's here. Thank you. As an access station, we're really, truly honored to have your support and your encouragement, and it keeps us going. It keeps us going to serve Fitchburg. We're very fortunate to have this from you, and I hear that you're going to celebrate a milestone of your own this month? So, I'd like to ask Mr. DiNatale, Mayor DiNatale, to come up and present his part of the program.
Thank you, Nathan. Thank you. You know, FATV has always been near and dear to my heart. I mean, it's a community organization. It gets the word out about our community. We couldn't be happier about that. I was asked throughout the week, who's getting the Boulder Award? And I would say, Mark Rocheleau. And most of the responses were, who? That's right, Mark, yeah. Because he's been gone a long time. I remember when I first started in city council and school committee, How long ago, when did you start with FATV?
1997.
Yeah, that far back. So 1997, he said. Yeah, and he was and is, at that time, certainly FATV. And we couldn't be more thankful and happy about your contributions to our community, as you are and were a part of that community. I have a citation from the city. Be it hereby known to all that the city of Fitchburg, Mass. Hereby offers its sincerest congratulations to Mark Rocheleau in recognition of being honored with the FATV Boulder Award for your outstanding contributions to civic life through the use of public communications. The entire citizenry extends its very best wishes on this memorable occasion and expresses the hope for continued good fortune. You're supposed to come up here.
Hi, everyone. Good evening. My name is Jake Smopoulos, and I'm here on behalf of my boss, Senator John Cronin. And before I say anything, I just want to say thank you again to the FATV staff for tonight and for all the fantastic work that you guys do year-round. It is a pleasure to know all of you, and we really appreciate everything that you do, so thank you. Tonight, we are here to honor Mr. Mark Rocheleau, someone whose career has existed at the intersection of entertainment and public service, and someone whose efforts are inextricably linked to the success and the expansion of FATV. As someone who's just gotten to know FATV over the past couple of years, I have had a fantastic experience getting to know everyone here who just really can't speak highly enough of Mark. So I will keep it very brief tonight. Mark, on behalf of the Massachusetts State Senate, we'd like to recognize you with this citation for your years of service and dedication to the FATV in the city of Fitchburg. Thank you, Mark.
My name is Rebecca Hess. I'm here on behalf of State Representative Mike Kushmerek, who couldn't be here tonight as earlier this week he and his wife Carissa, they welcomed their newborn son, Gabriel Alexander. So, So on behalf of Representative Kushmerek, we would just like to say thank you to FATV for everything you do for the community and the platform you provide, allowing the community to be more educated about all the events going on. So thank you so much for that. And additionally, congratulations to Mark Rocheleau. And we also have a citation from the Massachusetts House of Representatives, and it reads, "Be it hereby known to all that the Massachusetts House of Representatives offers its sincerest congratulations to Mark Rocheleau in recognition of your contributions towards the overall success of FATV and your commitment to the public broadcasting in North Central Mass. The entire membership extends its very best wishes and expresses the hope for future good fortune and continued success in all endeavors. Given this 5th day of May 2022 at the State House of Boston, Massachusetts, signed by Speaker of the House Ronald Mariano and offered by State Representative Michael Kushmerek."
All right, next up, I would like to now introduce you to our guest speaker to make the presentation for this year's Boulder Award. Paul Whelan began his career as an award-winning journalist for 2 metropolitan daily newspapers. He was a public relations executive with General Motors. He was also a public relations executive with the NHL's Buffalo Sabres back in the 70s. For 8 years, he was a practice goalie with the Sabres. He spent a total of 40 years working as a director and producer of sports television broadcasts, such as ESPN and other sports clients. He also was executive director here at FATV. Back in 1996, he came here until 2002. But while he was here, he made many, many friends in our community, and he brought FATV to a new level. He actually started this Boulder Award back in 1997. The first award recipient was Rocheleau Testamarta. But Paul means a lot to me personally. He took me out on a shoot that he did. I think it was I don't know, it might have been St. Bonaventure, which is his alma mater, but we did a broadcast out there, and I was a senior in high school, but I met a lot of people, and that's how I actually started my career, through Paul Wieland. So with Paul, in 2002, he joined the faculty of the, I'm going to try it, Gendali School of Communication at St. Bonaventure, teaching various writing courses, sports production, and on-air announcing. He is the author of 3 nonfiction books and a comedic novel on the sports business. He is also working on a novel and has a memoir up for publication. So right now, unfortunately, Paul couldn't make it here tonight. He lives about 6 hours away. But he was able to record the message that we'd like to share with you now.
By 1996, I'd spent my professional life as a journalist, public relations executive, and as a TV director and producer. I was looking for a new slot after my company hired another management team and spotted an online ad in the Sunday New York Times, seeking a TV executive to take over a public broadcasting operation. The ad was placed by Ken Jones on behalf of FATV, and he explained on the phone what the job entailed. Ken was a good salesman. I drove to Fitchburg from Buffalo and found this a hard-scrabble city full of boosters. The FATV board convinced me to give FATV a try, and it was one of the best moves of my life. Up in the old convent on South Street, I found a tiny but vigorous community of public access members who produce hours of new content for the city every week. I was intrigued. There was no fancy ad agency or marketing department, just people like you, making TV to their satisfaction and learning the technology every day. The FATV board charged me with being the boss, and that's what I did. Although I was more benevolent than dictatorial, I hope. After a few months, my wife and I moved into a handsome home up on a hill, and we met many friends, new friends through FATV, plus a vital coworker. I knew I needed an assistant with technical skills that would enable that assistant to fix TV and computer equipment and serve as a major helper to members of FATV as they produce television shows. Didn't know our honoree until then, but in his interview, Mark bowled me over with his knowledge. Together we made a team. I would screw up something and Mark would fix it. Soon we were doing live TV of high school sports and elections without any kind of remote truck, with Mark dragging every bit of cable electronics up and stairs and through alleys. I look forward to my job every day because I knew Mark not only had my back, but was the backbone of FATV. Mark was constantly amazing in his breadth of knowledge and his ability to apply it to a practical solution. He was my Boulder during my years at FATV. Steady as a rock with skills as a technician, an editor, a program designer, and a professional but forgiving guide to the hundreds of people who became part of FATV. He designed a mobile production truck from an old Chevy snack wagon, and we used it for years to produce live sports and community events. He didn't stop there, scoping out the modern truck still used today by FATV. Mark was sensitive to the needs of citizens who wanted to be part of community television, and then he moved on to his career as a teacher. He always has been a teacher and a darn good one. I counted on him every day and he never failed. He made my job much easier than it could have been, and he made his own a success in every way. A few years later, when I took a job teaching journalism courses at my college alma mater, I realized how much I'd learned in the time that had passed, thanks in great part to our honoree. My wife and I have missed Fitchburg since we left and still have warm friendships with friends we made here. I cannot think of anyone more deserving of the Boulder Award than your honoree and my friend, Mark Rocheleau. Good for Mark.
Mark, you want to come up and get your Boulder?
I might need some help getting this out to the car. Put that there. So this is great. I was just expecting a rock, and I got all of these awesome recognitions. So, God, a lot of you, I have not seen a lot of you in a long time. As the mayor was saying, it's been a while since I've been here. You guys look older. I hope you don't mind me saying that.
Yeah, you don't mind.
No, and actually, that's just the prelude to me putting my glasses on, so, yeah, okay. So, first of all, thank you so much for this, just off script. There's so much, I'm so appreciative of all this. So I'm actually the 2020 recognition person. Nate actually invited me out to lunch in 2020 and said that I was going to get this. And so I got a free lunch in 2020. And then the pandemic hit and it didn't happen. And so in 2021, he invited me out to lunch again. I got 2 free lunches. And finally, this awesome meal tonight. So, I mean, that's why I'm, no, I'm just kidding. But honestly, some people ask me why I wanted to accept this award. I'm not the type of person that seeks out, recognition or attention. It is, they're like, well, it's just a rock. But actually, for me, it's more than that. And I want to share with you why. Years ago, when I served as executive director, I would go on an annual hunt. Sometimes I'd bring some of the employees with me. And that hunt was to find the perfect potato-shaped rock. And I was always hoping to find granite, for obvious reasons. But if the size and shape were correct, we'd settle for other rocks. But this is actually a really good one, by the way. If it wasn't granite, who cares, right? I mean, how many geologists are getting Boulder awards, right? They wouldn't really know. Well, at least in Fitchburg. I'm sure there's probably a group of geologists giving out Boulder awards. Somewhere, it would make a lot of sense. But anyways, the hunt was actually a lot of fun. I'd walk around, with my eyes glued to the ground, looking for that perfect rock, knowing that it would eventually be screwed to a piece of wood and become an odd symbol of appreciation for dedication to the community. It's unique in its appearance, and it's unique in its metaphorical symbolism. Not only can it represent rock-solid achievement, but it also represents, well, a rock. Come to think of it, if there are geologists out there getting Boulder awards, it probably represents the same thing. I might be overthinking this. In any case, it's an honor to be the recipient of this year's rock, just the same. I spent 13 years here at FATV. I met a lot of awesome people. I worked my butt off, and I had a ton of fun doing it. I'd like to take a few minutes to tell you about my journey here, how it started for me, and where I ended up. I feel very lucky to have come on board when I did. The year was 1997. The internet was just a baby. And our singular cable provider provided only a handful of channels, making public access far more easy to find. And so I feel like it was a lot easier for people to tune in. Public access television was basically the only way for the average citizen to obtain professional level equipment and get the word out into the ever-growing jungle of real-time technology-based discourse. Much has changed. When I came on board, Paul Wieland was executive director and Bill Gonzalez was the station manager. Again, a lot has changed. They went from 2 people to how many do we have? We have a lot now. Yeah, 6, that's amazing. I also started as a volunteer. Not because I had any idea whatsoever what public access was, but because after graduating from Fitchburg State College, and yes, it was a college then, wasn't quite a university yet, my internship supervisor actually contacted me and told me of an opening at another access station. When I interviewed, the woman there told me that although you're a good candidate, you have no experience in public access. And public access is really a unique thing in the world of communications. And so she said, if you want to work in public access, you really need to start volunteering. She said, contact Bill Gonzalez, tell him you want to volunteer. So I did. And so I called him up, and he invited me in, and so I started volunteering. I was never really interested in making videos. I'm not a in front of the camera kind of guy. I'm more interested in the technology, how it works, and making it do things maybe it wasn't intended to do. So I spent a lot of my time fixing equipment, helping out with studio shoots, and finally they needed somebody to work Saturday mornings, and they said they would pay me. So I said, well, sure, why not? And so I started doing that. I was still coming in during the week, just doing some volunteer work. And Paul said, hey, whenever you come in and do this work, put it on the timesheet. So he was paying me. So I said, that's great. Before I knew it, they offered me a full-time position. And that basically began my journey at FATV. Working with Paul was one of the most enjoyable work experiences I've ever had. Not only did Paul bring with him a vast amount of experience in television production, but he was always kind, accommodating, and appreciative of the work that I did. I think we made a great team because our talents and interests didn't overlap a whole lot, but they did complement each other incredibly well. He'd tell me what he wanted to see, and I'd make it happen. And as he said, he would break things, and I would fix it. I learned a great deal from Paul, and I still think about the time we worked together, and I often miss it. But Paul and Bill weren't the only awesome people I met in those early days at FATV. I'd like to take this opportunity to share my experiences working with someone else we all know well. Nathan Lenny. When I met Nate, he was actually still a student at B.F. Brown Middle School. I've known him a little while. Nate wanted to learn how to do literally everything at the station. He wanted to know every little detail, and he insisted on helping with those details. Whether you needed or wanted his help or not, he was there to give it. He was incredibly adept at doing everything, up to and including irritating the hell out of me. I told you were going to like my speech. But I still liked him. I especially loved his energy and his passion. I remember him coming to me and asking if we could cover the student-teacher basketball game at B.F. Brown. A middle school basketball game. What fun. But he didn't want to just tape it. He wanted to televise it live. We weren't even sure we could do that from B.F. Brown. Why would we? But of course, he was determined, so we drove there together and tested the feed just to see if it was possible. It was. So because of Nate, the teacher-student basketball game was televised live that year. That might even be the first time a middle school teacher-student basketball game was televised on live television ever. I really don't know for sure, but seriously, who else would have done that? To be completely honest, though, one of the reasons I was excited about receiving this award is because Nate is now serving as executive director. And what I've seen so far tonight, you're doing a great job, by the way. I think it's awesome that you've come around full circle here. All of our best employees started out as volunteers, and Nate is continuing this tradition. Seeing Nate go from a precocious middle schooler to a high school student working live broadcasts, sports, and finally ending up back here at FATV is a source of enormous pride for me. Back in 2020, when Nate told me I was getting this award, I had the same conversation with him. I referred to him as a precocious kid then, too. Nate asked me what it meant. I replied, it means you were a pain in the ass. Actually, Nate, I looked it up. It means you were, I was about to read the same line again, which would have been really funny. It means a child having developed certain abilities or proclivities at an earlier age than usual. It was actually a compliment. Being a pain in the ass was just a side effect. But seriously, I'm thrilled that you're here and getting this award from FATV, led by you, is an absolute honor. The funny thing about all this is that's really the beginning of the journey that ended up leading me, ironically, away from FATV into where I am now. Working with young people and technology has always been my favorite part of doing what I did at FATV. As executive director, I was usually expected to shake hands and rub elbows with the movers and shakers of the city, and to be honest, that was never really my thing. If I could combine the tech with the kids, that's where my passion was. So I got to work with kids from every high school and middle school in the city, and even as executive director, I was always involved with the kids here. After leaving FATV, I worked at Westford Community Access Television for a while, and Lauren Horton's here, actually. She was my executive director there, so it was a big surprise. Thank you. And so when they found out that I did video camps at FATV, they asked if I would help out with theirs. They were impressed by how long I could keep a group of fidgety fifth graders engaged and excited. On the second day, they put me in charge and told me to do whatever I wanted to do. And I ended up creating a fun curriculum that I still kind of keep up with them on Facebook, and they're still pretty much using the same curriculum. So it's pretty cool. So in 2013, we're almost up to 2022, guys. Seriously. In 2013, I was offered a job as the technology and engineering teacher at Groton Dunstable Regional High School. This was a perfect fit for me, and I've been there ever since. I love what I do. Believe me, there are plenty of kids there who are a pain in my ass as well, but the joy of seeing them grow, mature, and become successful is what motivates me to do what I do. I found a way to combine the tech and the kids full-time and to hopefully make a positive impact on their lives. It's work that I began here at FATV, and I am grateful for all the opportunities and learning experiences I was given along the way. The bio in the program describes some of the cool things I did while serving as executive director. But while those may be the exciting landmark accomplishments, there were hundreds or even thousands of little achievements that occurred along the way. The most important thing to remember about all those achievements, though, is that I didn't do them alone. They all involved the community. Fitchburg is a wonderfully diverse community. I was able to work side by side with people from many different cultures, races, religions, political viewpoints, and physical abilities in order to achieve a common goal. I've met some absolutely terrific people during my time here. Many of them are here tonight, and I'm really glad that you are. This award is not mine alone, because I couldn't have done those cool things without you guys. I'm honored to accept this award not because I think I deserve it, but because I think it represents the importance of community and of working together for a common goal. I've been working with students in our school's first robotics program for the past 9 years. In many ways, I find it very similar to the work that I did here. I work with a large group of volunteers. We work together towards a common goal. We work long hours. The pay isn't that great. And our efforts culminate in an event that puts to the test everything we did leading to that point, and we either make it or we don't. We work hard to keep things running. We fix things when they break, but win or lose, we have fun, we build lasting friendships, and we do it all over again the next year. I basically just described televising live events. As I get older, I realize more and more that all the seemingly unrelated things I've done throughout my life are really not unrelated at all. Everything I did here at FATV, the good, the bad, the ugly, is all connected to everything else I've done and am doing now. I want to thank Nathan and the board of directors of FATV for recognizing me tonight. I also want to thank all the people I met along the way, and especially those who I consider my friends still today. This rock represents much more to me than just FATV or Fitchburg. To me, this is a reminder of how I got to where I am today. It's an acknowledgement that what I've done in the past and what I do now matters. That, at least to me, my time at FATV, was not some isolated 13-year period that exists in a vacuum, but is part of a much larger whole that means something to more than just me. See, it's not just a rock, and it's probably better than whatever those geologists did for theirs. So thank you, everybody.
I gotta vet these scripts from now on because this award is about you, not me, now that everybody knows my whole middle and high school life. But congratulations, Mark.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Richard, take your Boulder.
I gotta take all my things.
You what?
Gotta take all my things.
Oh, okay.
My glasses, my rock.
No, you can leave. No. You can have
No,
it.
I'll leave the rock.
No, you can have it.
I'll come back
Really,
with the rock.
really.
I need some help with that, yeah.
Okay. Really, thank you all for attending tonight's wonderful celebration. Again, congratulations to Mark and all of our award recipients. On behalf of the Board of Directors and myself, have a great evening. Thank you.